Hey guys, I'm going to read this to you guys one more time since you guys don't like to understand, that the only person that's going to be in charge is Putin. Yeah, good job. Because all of Europe is going to be the first to go, and he knows that, which is why he don't give a fuck about Ukraine wanting diplomacy. He doesn't care about any of that garbage. Why? Because Hitler never fucking died. He never died. He's still in reign of power per Edward Casey. Yeah, Pisces. My best friend was a Pisces who committed suicide. And if you don't think that laying lines called AI in space are going to be your superconductors to Edison dead phone, you're wrong. And I can prove you wrong mathematically, scientifically, psychically. I literally can tell you how wrong you are because of this problem right here. Okay, so we're going to go back to biblical. What did God say? He said, don't bite the apple, the knowledge of tree, right? So let's read this together. When the wife of Cain is only mentioned once in the Old Testament, she would not be counted amongst the famous women in Genesis. Nevertheless, her identity is still worth investigating. Who did Cain marry? Mary Joan Wynne Lith first explored the traditional Jewish and Christian answers that contend that the wife of Cain was another daughter of Adam and Eve, which is his own sister. According to this reasoning, Cain would have married his sister, one of Abel's twin sisters, no less, according to the Genesis. Yeah. This is what they meant. This is what God meant. He said, you don't reproduce within your own family. This is what creates unclean DNA. Okay, first of all, I'm a scientist, I'm a psychic, and I can tell you that I'm also a physicist. And the different answer emerges when Leith turns from a traditional response about the wife of Cain and devolves, I can't even say it, into modern scholarship, looking at recent work done by sociologists and anthropologists. She notes that when forming a group of identity, we tend to define ourselves by how we differ from other groups. In ancient Near East, sometimes those outside of the particular group or society was considered less human by those inside of the group, the important factor that contributes to the mindset of the geography. People in ancient Near East typically stay close to home, which affect the perception of the world. Surely they existed far away, but if they never came into contact with these groups, what did it matter, right? Well, Mary Joan suggests that while the Israelite storyteller knew that the other men and women in Genesis existed outside of Eden, they did not matter to him or factor into his account. He was concerned with Adam and Eve and their progeny, not those outside groups. So who did Cain marry? There are answers for at least explanation of the identity of the wife of Cain, one of often overlooked women in Genesis. Read her full biblical views column. Who did Cain marry? Well, he married his sister and had children with his sister, and he also got away with murdering his brother. No way. Yes way. That's why we have here Cain and Abel in supporting roles. Yeah, it's because he keeps thinking that he's getting away with it. He's not. Libra, you're not getting away with it. In the book of Genesis, we are told about Cain's birth, his violent act of fratricide, and his subsequent exile. We learn that he married and had descendants, but the Bible strangely mutes about his death. I wonder why. Well, because the actual real Cain was murdered when he was born. Whether it be Cain or Cain's real son, it doesn't matter. He had to continue the biblical fucking sinful nature, which is why, again, we don't learn in this lifetime. What does the Bible say about infertility? It says that you don't touch the apple. Duh. It says analyzing the biblical portrayal of infertility in the Bible, which again is ISIS.